Good morning. How are y'all doing? Anybody here yet? Take off that text. There we go. I'm back. Let's see. I can't see the chat yet. Let's hop in there. There we go. Got the chat up. All right. Ready to rock and roll here. Starting my Monday off good. I've been very productive already. I'm going to try to keep that going. But I figure, hey, let's hang out. Let's be productive together, you know? Today, what I'm working on right now is actually kind of boring. It's like, you know how like, I'm not really doing anything with code right now. I'm more of focusing on doing research on the thing I need to build. So I'm just kind of collecting information, doing setup. But that's kind of, you know, that's the legwork you have to do sometimes, you know. Sometimes it's not just jumping straight into a text file. Alright, so basically what I'm working on right now is I have a list of apps, and I need to make sure that the API key that I'm going to use in this integration has the right permissions. Free samples. Dude, free samples, that's TMI, man. TMI. I mean, thanks for watching the stream, but yeah, next time you could just say, you know, I'm going through it, but I'm here or something like that, you know? Probably don't need to get real explicit with it there. You're not gonna freak me out though. I mean, I have 2 kids, right? So yeah. Bodily functions are things that I'm well acquainted with. But you probably don't need to share yours with everybody on the internet, free samples. So otherwise, I hope you're having a good day. Sorry about your situation there, man. Alright, we have a... So the way this system works that I'm integrating with, if you care, I don't know if any of you guys care, but the way this system works that I'm working on writing an app to integrate with, it has roles, and it has apps, and it has permissions that the roles can have to do things with those apps. And so in order for my integration to work, I basically have to make sure that I have a role that has all the right permissions that I can then assign to my API key and use for my application. Sunji, load, hey, will you get low taper fade when you hit 500 subs? Is that what this has become now? Steven promises to do things for subs. I don't even know what a low taper fade is. Let's see, low taper fade. Probably not, dude. I don't know. I don't think I'd look good with that haircut. I mean, I get a fade on my haircut already. Hold on, which way am I turning? Which way? No, this side. Yeah, I mean, this is already. I mean, it's not low, but it starts at like a. They usually start at like a 0, like a 1, and then fade up to a 2. So. All right, there's got to be. I really don't want to stare and compare here. I wonder if I can write a little. That's probably going to take more work than what it's worth. What if I just... Yeah, I'm just going to collapse all these. Skeeto LLC, what's up, man? Alex, yo, what's up, Alex? How are you, man? Suzerain. Suze. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying your. I don't know if I'm saying your username right, but you said keep it consistent. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you referring to? Skeeto LC. I hope you're doing good. Skeeto says you have a massive forehead. Skeeto, you're not the first to say these things. The chat, the YouTubers, the YouTube people in the chat, always like to comment on the size of my forehead. Although I feel like in person it's not that large. Soleil de Gloria. Make a game using Unreal Engine 5. That sounds like a really big project that would consume lots of my time. I'm not sure I'm ready to commit to another big project like that. I already have too many side projects. Rune Ecom. What up, dude? Hey, Rune Ecom. How are you doing? Suze Rain, love your stream. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thanks for hanging out. St1e. Sup. How are you, C1E? It's all good, man. No complaints here. We're getting our Monday started, hanging out with you guys, getting some work done, being productive, drinking coffee. Skiddy LLC is really laying it on thick with the appearance comments. Is your hairline receding or is it from child? If it's receding, I haven't noticed much. This is kind of this. If you look back, I don't know. Here, let me face the camera like this. Now, if you take a screenshot of me like this and you go back to like the very first video on my channel, I guess you could screenshot it and see if there's a difference, but I haven't noticed much of a difference and my wife hasn't commented on it, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Suze Rain, physically unique, the value of yours, massive forehead. Yeah, I've never, the YouTube comments have been the only place I've ever had a lot of people say I have an extremely large forehead. Airline says, do you have a sister on YouTube? Chat? Our line, I do have a sister. She's not on YouTube, though, to the best of my knowledge. Also, I don't know why you ended that sentence with chat. What was the point of that? I don't understand. Skeeto LLC, sorry, bro, if you find my comments offensive. No, yeah. Hey, man. Trust me, Skeeto. Anything you say, some random person with a username Skeeto LLC on YouTube is not gonna have any impact on me, man. So if you want to hang out and you want to comment on my forehead size and my hairline, go right ahead, man. At some point, I might decide I'm tired of it and just time you out, but if you want to hang out and that's what you want to contribute to the chat, go right on ahead. Life's too short and too big to get all fucked up by some YouTube comments. Suzanne Rain says, me too, gentlemen. What are you talking about? Skeeto, hey bro, chill. Hey, Skeeto LC, I do always ask the people who are kind of trollish. I always ask them, like, do you have like a notepad? Like, do you have like a notes app? And there's like a bunch of notes in there that's just like things I should say to people who are live to get a reaction. And then you just open that up and copy and paste it into the chat. Jelly Moss, misery loves company with these trolls. This is a very real thing. Skeeto, I'm just joking, bruh. I have a hard day today. Skeeto, I don't give a shit if you're having a hard day today. That doesn't excuse your behavior. What are you, 4 years old? Tax Better Man. Hey there, shits for brains. Hey there, Tax. Good to see you. Suzanne Rain. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That that comment makes me a little uncomfortable. It kind of will cross. It kind of is on the line of like what I will time somebody out for. Tax better, man. I'm just kidding. How you been? Long time, bro. Oh yeah, I've been good, man. How are you? Skeeto, you look like my maths teacher. When I see your face first, you reminded me of him. Okay, fair enough, man. Let's see. Tax, I've been good. Have you been lifting, Tax? You been doing well? Working out? Getting in the gym? Steve1E tried KFC today. First time. It's expensive. Steve1E, really? Today was the first time you've had KFC? Wow. I don't eat KFC like at all. Like the last time I ate KFC was probably a decade ago at this point. So I can't say how expensive it is, but man, everything these days seems expensive. Skeeto, I am 19, dude. Okay, well, Skeeto, show up like you're 19, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you say I'm having a bad day, that's why I'm going into people's live streams and insulting their appearance, and then say I'm having a bad day, that's why I'm doing it. You sound like a child. So if you want to hang out here and contribute to the conversation, that's great. But if not, I'll just treat you like a troll, man. Taxmaster says, I like the last short with the Zoolander. Yeah, wasn't that funny? That's a funny... People come up with the funniest templated green screen clips like that. I just love people's sense of humor. They're just super creative. Skeeto, how much will I grow? I have no idea, Skeeto. You should go talk to your pediatrician. I'm just fucking with you. You probably have an actual primary care doctor, so you should go talk to them if you want to know how much you're gonna grow. Tax Betterman says, I just got out from the gym. I'm up to 180 on bench, 8x3. Nice, dude. Way to go, Tax. Get it, man. That's awesome. Steve1E, it's just opened a month ago in my city. I guess I never really wanted to try. I guess I never really wanted to try it on the go. Yeah, I mean, I've eaten KFC and I've always thought it good, but man, everything is expensive. I will concur with you there. Jelly Moss, you're 19. Who gives a fuck? Doesn't mean you should have. Jelly Moss, I like your energy. I vibe with that. That's where I'm at. Toad Sage, yo man, this early stream today. Toad Sage, it really is compared to when I've been streaming lately. This is kind of what I'm aiming for, though, as far as this, Skeeto, bro, forget it, I am new man. Yeah, Skeeto, I mean, seriously, dude. I don't care how you want to act on the interwebs. If you want to act like a troll on the interwebs, that's fine. If you don't, if you want to hang out here and be chill and cool and, you want to enjoy the good vibes, do that. But yeah, if you're acting like a troll in the chat, I'm probably gonna call you on it. Let's see. Toad said, yeah, so early stream today. So this is though what I'm kind of shooting for a stream schedule. So I'm trying to do like an office hour stream in the morning, then like lunchtime or like mid-afternoon, I want to try to work on like some side projects over my lunch break. And then maybe some workout streams intermixed into that schedule. Now, it doesn't always work out that way just because life and everything that I have going on, but that's the goal. Pizarro25 says, it's super random, but you have kind eyes, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, Pizarro. That's really nice of you to say that. I think of myself as a genuinely kind person. And I try to show up on the interwebs the same way I show up in real life. So I try to talk to you guys as if we were, if we were sitting in the office or if we were at the coffee shop. I try to interact with you guys the same way I would there, which is why I kind of call people out when they come into the chat and do strange things, because it's like, if we were in public and you were walking by me, or if it was a group of us guys or a group of us, guys and girls sitting and chatting and having a conversation, and somebody walked up and just said random things, I would just be like, what the fuck's your problem? You know what I mean? Like I don't understand this idea of like having two personas, one for your online behavior and one for your in real life behavior. I don't get it. Nor do I fuck with it. Let's see. Hark says, "Oh, Tax Betterment says, by the way, from now on, I won't do the cement. Hold on. The comment coming in where I say something done, the joke got old, and I like talking with you. Yeah, Tax. I mean, do what you want to do, man. I know why you do it, and it's funny, so I get it, man. It's nice to be able to have returning people that we kind of have a running conversation with. So, but if you're over it, that's cool too, man. You do you. Harks, what side projects you working on? No side projects right now. Right now, I'm actually doing actual work stuff. But in terms of just like in general, so I have like 4 that are currently going. So I have this little alt gen project that's basically using LLMs to generate alt text for images. Then I have an open source project that it basically supports a use case for the software that my company makes. So it basically allows people to sync user records and group records from Azure Active Directory over to a piece of software. So that's one thing I've been working on. Another side project is I've been learning how to try to build large language models. I just started on that one, so I'm kind of in the early phases. But the goal with that side project is I'd like to get to the point where I can take one of these foundation models and I can fine tune it to a particular use case. And there's more. There's other ones, arcs, but they're becoming too many. I probably need to get some to like a stopping point before I start more. Cool dude. Hello, Mr. Developer. Hello, cool dude. How you doing? Toad Sage, except today, don't think I'll be able to join the stream this early. No worry, Toad Sage. You know, come and go as you please, man. We appreciate you being here, though, when you are. Jelly Moss, they never say it to your face. Yeah, they wouldn't. I mean, that's the thing. It's just the internet allows people to behave strangely. Tax. Oh, and I can finally go live sometime today, bro. Had to wait 24 hours, so I'm just waiting on that. That's awesome, Tax. Hey, congratulations, man. Skeeto, I want to be the next big sensation like Speed Bro. I want to make money like you streaming. Skeeto, I don't make any money from this, man. So if you want to stream, I think do it. Like, just stream. Like, what's the worst that could happen? But yeah, I don't make any content or do anything really with the expectation that I'm gonna make money from it. You know, that's why I have a day job. That's why I continue to develop skills that hopefully will actually make me employable for a real job. Jelly Moss says, you want to be like Speed. That explains a lot. I don't know who that guy is. Steve1E, do you think about AI calorie? What do you? Okay, Steve1E, I have a lot of opinions about this. As someone who understands LLMs and understands I understand machine learning enough to understand how they're doing it. And someone who is deep in the fitness world, I have basically 2 large opinions. One is it's really cool. I think that's awesome. I think it's a really neat application of this idea of being able to take, you know, an image or basically some data and have a model that can map that, hey, based on previous images I've seen with labels applied, I can roughly figure out. The one thing I will say about it, though, is it kind of, as a trainer, if I was a coach or trainer and I had a client using one of these things, it does make me a little suspicious because already food labels are already imprecise. Food labels are allowed to be so basically food companies are allowed to change their nutrition facts plus or minus about 20% without having to actually get a new label. So inherently, when you're looking at food products today, there's already inaccuracy. What was it? Accuracy? No, let's say impreciseness in what's reported on your labels. So if you're really trying to track your food and track your calories, you already have some fudge room already, right? So you could be eating more, you could be eating less than you already think you do if you're just using food labels and measuring your food. And I think the problem with the AI calorie apps is they could introduce additional SKU, right? So now you're eating even more, or you're eating even less. So I think they could magnify the inaccuracy. And so I think you just probably have to be aware of that, right? If you think you're eating 2,500 calories because your AI calorie counting app says it, but you're not seeing your weight go up or you're not seeing your weight go down based on what you're trying to accomplish, you probably want to be skeptical of that number to some extent. Okay, let's see. Harks, I'm a web developer. The amount of times I write to ChatGPT, write minimal alt text for the following images. Yeah, Harks, I'm sure there are wrappers that already exist though. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I haven't went out and looked, but I was like, yes, I've written that exact prompt to ChatGPT, to Claude over and over again, and so I was finally like, you know what? I'm going to build an API that allows me to use whatever provider I want to use. I can configure it with a key, or select the appropriate provider, provide a key, and I'll write a really nice prompt, and then I'll create a couple client apps, a console app and a web app, and I'm just gonna be able to pass a path to an image file or upload an image file to a web client, and just send that to my backend API and get some alt text back. I know it's a simple use case. I know it really is it's essentially just an API call with a prompt around it. But yeah, it's a problem I have. It's going to help me. So that's why I started working on that. FS Edit says, bro, hi. Please rate my edits. FS Edit, I have never seen any of your edits, so I can't rate them. Let's see. Ski-Doo, please, sir, I want a genuine advice from you. If you are 19 again, what skills will you start first if you want to become a software developer? How to start? Any advice? Ski-Doo, I'm going to come back to that. Let me catch up with chat a little bit here. Sly, it's true, but in the long term, does that budge room even matter? C1E, I think it does to some extent. I just think you want to be aware of it. If I was a coach, if I had clients who were using tools like that, I would just want them to be aware that, hey, when you're counting your calories, you already have a little bit of inaccuracy or impreciseness going on. If you're using something like an AI app, that could be a little bit more magnified. So you just want to keep that in mind. If we're not seeing the goal, the progress, if the numbers that we're tracking don't seem to line up with the results we're getting, we may need to start to be skeptical of the numbers that you're recording. Andil Luthil, hey man, AI is the best, bro. It helps me with my school tests. I've used AI in the exam room so many times. Well, as long as that's okay. I mean, I don't want to encourage you to be breaking the rules, but if your professors are cool with using AI, go for it, man. You could host it for free and make money on ads. Yeah, so I don't know if I will for sure host it for free, and I'll just let people use it because it'll be a bring your own API key type of thing. So yeah, so once I get one of the clients published, I'm working on the console app right now, but then I'll get the web app published. But yeah, it'll just basically be a bring your own thing. The only compute that I'll be providing is just making the API requests, and I've got rate limiting already set up on the API, so people can only make so many requests. But I'm not sure about the ads. I'm not really sure about making money on it, but if other people find it helpful. Hark, similar to a background removing tool. Yeah, I actually just published a background removing console app that uses some models, some machine learning models to run inference. If you go to my GitHub, actually here I can link it. I can link you to it. It's kind of interesting. It was an interesting project. I wrote a blog post about it. But I basically wanted to have something that could just run on my own compute on my machine. So I just built this little console app, and that's how I make all my thumbnails. How I remove the background from all my thumbnail images. Is using this now. I was using Canva, and I built this. Which, I mean, the guts of it could be exposed through an API too, right? This could be exposed through an API. Harks, not host, I mean no charge. Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, I wouldn't charge anybody for it, I think. Skelly, hello. Hey, Skelly, how you doing? Toad says, Steven, I think I found a new hobby, man, of aquascaping. I also tried your email managing methods. It was damn good, man. Yeah, you like that? So it's basically like, Toad says, you basically turn your email into like almost like a chat experience with the labels. But yeah, it really helps me organize things in there. Aquascaping, I've never heard of that, Toad says. You'll have to tell me more about that. Harks, do you have Discord? Can I build it with you? DeepSeek or GPT? I've used DeepSeek a little bit. I've used ChatGPT a lot more. They both seem great. The one thing that ChatGPT kind of wins out for me, the one feature that it wins out for me, is the fact that it has what does it have? It has the Dolly image generation, right? So I like the fact that I can be like, hey, create me an image that does this. And as of right now, I don't think DeepSeek does that, which is kind of a nice little. I mean, it's granted, I get it. Most people go to these LLMs for answers, and I'm over here saying, well, I just like the fact it can make pictures for me. Harks, do you have a Discord? Can I build it with you? I don't have a Discord. I had someone ask last night if I had a Discord, so maybe I should make a Discord. That way, if people want to join, they can. Can I build it with you? You're more than welcome to build it with me. Let me link you the repository to it. You can have a look at what I have going so far. I don't know what your tech stack is, but you're more than welcome to. Here you go, Harks. Let me put this in the chat for you. Harks, here is the alt gen repo currently. That's this is what I've been working on. So there's right now, if you go to there's a branch that's called there's a branch on there that's called Feature Add Console App. And that's the current branch that I'm working off of. But you're welcome to fork that and do whatever. It's using C# for the back end. The console app's built in C#, and then the web app I'll probably build the web app in Blazor more than likely. But yeah, you're welcome to contribute, man. More than happy for you. Let's see, Skelly, nice to see you again. Yeah, nice to see you too, Skelly. Thanks for stopping by the stream again. Appreciate you. Sanjit, how can I make ChatGPT at home? Sanjit, so the honest truth about that, Sanjit, is you can't really. It's just too expensive and you need too much. I mean, you can, but you're going to have to use someone else's compute to actually train the foundation model, right? To actually produce your own foundation model. What a lot of people do is they use the existing weights from already trained models. That's kind of the more cost-effective way to go about it. So you can't really build your own ChatGPT at home. It's just not really feasible. But you can definitely like create your own transformer, right? But you're probably going to have to use some existing weights. You're probably not going to be able to actually do the training yourself because it's just going to take too much money, too much compute, right? The people are, they spend like tens of millions of dollars training these foundation models, so it's just not realistic. But you can definitely, Sanjit, and that's kind of what I'm learning about on some of my streams. Is I'm kind of learning about how do these large language models get built, right? So I'm learning about that, but I'm also learning about, okay, so I have an existing foundation model. How do I further fine tune it for my particular application? So you can do things like that, Sanjit, if you're interested. Like if you're like, man, I really wish the model was an expert poet, right? Or poet. Like you could further fine tune the model to be better at writing poems than maybe the foundation model is. So you can do things like that for sure. I don't know how to because I'm actively learning, but I'll definitely share as I go. Let's see, Sanjit, I don't know sheet about coding. Which programming? That's okay, Sanjit, you don't have to. Skeeto, which programming language should I learn? Skeeto, I know people, there's probably going to be some opinions about this. My opinion would be to look at JavaScript, and then as soon as you kind of get your feet wet with JavaScript, look at TypeScript. And the reason I say that is because JavaScript runs on the browser and it runs on the server. It's a nice dynamic language, so you don't need to know a lot about typing early to learn it. But once you know it, you essentially have the ability to kind of build whatever you really want. So that would be my advice. You can say aquascaping is kind of like building a garden in water. Okay, interesting. St1e says you can host DeepSeek locally. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do it with or without GUI. Yeah, so Sanjeet, what St1e said there is true. So you can't, like I said, you can't really build your own ChatGPT, but you can definitely host some of these foundation models on your own hardware. Although I don't have the most powerful hardware though, but I just haven't had great experiences with it. Like I set up Ollama on Windows and have been experimenting with hosting, using Ollama to do some AI stuff. And the inference is just much slower than what you get out of the ChatGPT app. Like it just takes longer to get a response. But that probably is more of a hardware limitation on my part. So if you have really beefy hardware locally, go for it. Let's see. Skeeto. Yeah, Skeeto. I don't know where Sanjeet's from. Bernie Sandals. JavaScript is a good first language. Yeah, so Bernie, I second that opinion. I know people have lots of opinions about this, and they have lots of feelings about JavaScript. And JavaScript does have its rough edges. I just think it's never not going to be the language of the browser. So if you want to build web apps, you got to know some JavaScript, in my opinion. But then the nice thing is, once you know JavaScript, JavaScript runs on the server, so you can do server-side things with it now. And then pretty soon, now you're off to the races. You have the ability to kind of build whatever thing you want to learn how to build. Let's see. Harks, I could create the alt text app just by prompting Lovable and Supabase. Yeah, you probably could, Harks. Yeah, that's definitely an app that you could probably vibe code, right? For me, it's just been a great little project to work on stream. It was basically the first project I started to work on when I started learning NeoVim at the beginning of the year. So it was a great project to kind of work through what things do I need in my NeoVim configuration to be able to do my style of development or my tech stack. So it's been great for that purposes too. But yeah, you could probably most definitely build it. And if you do, Harks, I'd love to see it, man. You know what they say, ideas are nothing, execution's everything, right? So if you like that idea and you can make it work, get it working and set up, I'd love to see it once you get it there, man. St1e says, can you look at my messages and read second to last one? Would love to hear your thoughts about it. St1e, I think your last message was that about DeepSeek? I don't see another one. St1e. If there's something I missed, let me know and I'll be happy to talk about it. Bernie says, I don't know. It feels like the entire industry is about to shift with AI. Will we be programming much? Bernie, I'll come back to that one. Hold on one sec. Steven, I recommend learning C or C++ for better understanding the stuffs to Skeeto. Yeah, I haven't written any C or C++, so I can't speak to that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with learning a lower level language if you're interested in it. Ackman is a little bit of a spammer, so we're gonna block him. Toad says don't smoke though. Yeah, don't smoke. I want to start early in building wealth so I can be in top 1%, so I'm counting on myself and brain. Well, Skeeto, I think that's a wonderful goal. Top 1% is a pretty high aim, but yeah, that's I mean, might as well set the bar high, right? Harks. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, sounds good, Harks. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Oh, do you mean okay, I'll be back and like you're gonna go prompt it to build it? Yeah, man. Go do it. I would love to see it. I love to see people to execute on actually building projects. Like if you can build if you can build something, deploy it, host it, share a link that more than one person can get to and access, I think that's awesome, man. Too many people talk, not enough people actually build and do. Hold on, who was it? Bernie. Yeah, it was Bernie who asked about the AI. So, do I think we'll be programming much? I pay for GitHub Copilot, so I use AI in my workflows. Um, I have not used Cursor, but I have used the new Copilot agent mode. Um, I've been a heavy user of ChatGPT and Claude for programming related stuff. Like, hey, I need to, a lot of times my prompts are usually they look a lot like, hey, I need to build this thing. This is my problem. I'm not really sure where to start. Where would you start? Right. So I used it a lot for blank slate problems. I have yet though to see for myself a future where the AI completely wires up a complete solution for me, figures out how to test it, figures out how to deploy it, figures out how to maintain it. I haven't yet seen that. And so I think that people are still going to be writing code for the foreseeable future. I think in a lot of cases, though, they're going to not have to do much of the boring setup work. I think a lot of the boilerplate, a lot of the repetitive tasks are going to be done by an LLM or are going to be assisted through an LLM. But I still think there's going to be a human in the loop. I do not see a future quite yet where you have this AI thing on your system and you say, hey, I want a new .NET Web API that does XYZ and has a repo and talks to a MongoDB backend and uses the repository. I don't see a world where I just talk and the LLM orchestrates, sets up the project, writes it all out, and then I say, okay, now deploy that to my private virtual server, run my automated suite of tests, and then monitor bug reports. Like I don't know. I just don't see that yet. I think that's still a ways off. So I'm not an AI doomist. I'm not really an AI optimist. I'm more of in the let's be real about this. That's kind of my opinion. I also live in Kansas, right? So like I don't live in Silicon Valley. I don't live like in one of those big tech communities. So like I interact with people every day and just the level of impact AI is really having in the everyday person's world is pretty small. I think because if you're in the coding or the programming space, you're feeling the impact of LLMs or the pressure of LLMs more and more because of just that's where companies are trying to find an application for this LLM technology for these generative AI models. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that in 20 years there won't be people writing code. I think in 20 years there may be people writing less code, but I think there'll still be a need for programmers and developers, problem solvers, if you will. I think that's still going to be a valuable skill set. Skeeto LLC, bro, any dating advice for college students? I do not have any. I met my wife when I was 15, so I do not I don't have much advice to offer in that category. Okay, see you, man. I think I'm going to start the day early. See you, man. Yeah, see you, Toad Sage. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Skeeto, 3 years ago, I go to Hong Kong, China. I met a man who makes billions selling software AI tools. Yeah, I that sounds awesome. I would love to make $1 billion. Man, the chat was hopping there for a minute, wasn't it? Woo! You guys were keeping me busy. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Good questions. Good conversation. Bernie, good points about AI. Thank you. Steve1E, you can't see my comment again. Yeah, I don't know, Steve1E. I guess it may be getting caught in some of my filters. So maybe try modifying the language a little bit. Bernie, good points about AI. Thank you, Bernie Sandals. Bernie Sandals, thank you. Yeah, like I said, I'm a believer in the AI. Like I'm a user of it, right? I just don't get caught up in the hype as much. I just think it's very hyperbole. Like I listened to the latest episode of Hard Fork this weekend, and the CEO of Anthropic was being interviewed, and he's obviously a very smart man and knows way more about AI than I could probably ever know. How to build it, how to use it, how to scale it. But just speaking from like my observation as a human being in the world, I just do not see AI changing how my mom's life works or how my sister's life works. So some of the things he says about how much the world's going to change in 18 to 24 months, I'm just skeptical. I think the world in general moves a lot slower than technologists want it to. That's just my opinion. C1E doesn't matter, I guess. I'm sorry, C1E. I would love to respond to your comment. I don't know what it is because I don't see it. So I apologize. Internet, what's up, mate? Hey, Internet. Hey, the Internet's here. We're on the Internet, and the Internet is in my stream. Thanks for hanging out here, man. Thanks for stopping by and saying what's up. Sanjay, sup? How are you, Sanjay? I'm good, man. We're chilling. We're just hanging out on our Monday office hours stream and trying to make the most of it. So, let's see. Internet, is AI as revolutionary as fire or wheel? So, I think an actual AI. So like I'm gonna say if you mean AI in the sense that there are these omnipotent intelligences that know everything about everything and can take action in the real world, yes, that type of AI would be as revolutionary as fire or the wheel. Generative AI, LLMs as they stand today, no, I don't think they're as revolutionary than fire or wheel. So vaccinated anti-vaxxer says it's more revolutionary. I would agree with that. For the AI that's all knowing, right? For the AI that is the omnipotent being, right? That I think that version of AI, yeah, like the Skynet version of AI, yes, that version would be very impactful. But I think AI as it sits today, like I personally, I'm curious to see how much more they can squeeze out of LLMs. Because I'm not sure. Like I listened to a podcast on an episode of the Lex Friedman podcast, and the chief AI scientist for Meta was being interviewed. And he talked about how he just didn't think autoregressive LLMs were the path to generalized artificial intelligence, which was kind of interesting to hear. And he had some really good points about why that is and how the very architecture of the LLMs presents issues because of their autoregressive nature and their context window limits. And so I'm kind of interested to see like if LLMs continue to remain the path to generalized artificial intelligence, or if something else comes along and supplants it. But LLMs today are obviously very useful pieces of technology. Vaccinated anti-vaxxers, skilled labor like paralegals, surgeons, movie directors are already being replaced by AI. How long before a perfect AI becomes a judge with no human bias, no flawed logic? So vaccinated anti-vaxxer, I just completely call bullshit on that. I do not see AI replacing paralegals and surgeons and movie directors. I see AI helping those people. Like I can definitely see an AI someday maybe replacing a paralegal, But yeah, definitely not replacing a movie director. I think there's something intangible about creative work that I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Surgeon, I for sure don't see AIs replacing surgeons. Have you ever seen a surgeon actually work? Have you ever shadowed a surgeon? Because I have. Like that's what I thought I wanted to be, and I spent time shadowing orthopedic surgeons, and yeah, I don't know about that claim, bro. Let's see. Internet says, what about financial field? I think that one, I don't, so internet, I think anything, they do a better job than people and free labor. Why not? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anti-vaxxer, we may be talking about AI in a different sense. Yeah. Internet, the financial field one's interesting. I think the financial and the legal field are both areas where that they are great application areas for AI, like both generative AI as well as some form of artificial generalized intelligence. But I think there's so much uneasiness, right, of those fields, because there's a lot of regulation, there's a lot of what's the term, liability. I think that's going to be an uphill battle. Same thing with self-driving cars, right? Self-driving cars will be an uphill fight because there is so much liability and litigation that surrounds driving a motor vehicle. I think what you'll need is you'll need laws to move, right? You'll need laws to change in order for that for mass adoption to take place, I think. Hark says, I like Satya Nadella's benchmark of AGI. It must have a significant effect on GDP. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. To me, that's kind of changing the definition of what AGI has always been. I guess, because to me, artificial and general intelligence was always this thing that was like, it literally is an exact approximation of human intelligence, but it has kind of this omnipotent presence to it. But I mean, everyone's open to everyone's welcome to put that under their own definition. Vaccinated anti-vaxxer. So a 3D printer can't do good as a human sculptor. A robot can't remove part of flesh than a surgeon. I think in the future, people will see human surgery as barbaric. Sweatshops will be slavery. Yeah, I take your point about, I guess in some future world, you're kind of imagining for surgery, there's an actual human that has the same level of dexterity and ability with a hand as a surgeon does. So I don't know. I think that's just so far off. And I think that's another great place where the liability and the legality surrounding that profession, it's like, what happens if the robot messes the surgery up? Who's liable? Who does the patient or the patient's family litigate, right? Who's that fault? I don't know. I think that opens a whole... I just think the adoption of technologies in certain spaces will be prohibited less by the technology and more by just our own human processes and laws and procedures. The 3D printer thing, human sculpture, I don't know. I just think there's something about humans creating for other humans, right? I think it's the same reason why, I don't think people are going to want to watch robots play football. I think humans want to watch humans play football. I don't know. That's my take. I asked if you could take a look at Build Your Own X project and give your thoughts. So Steve, the X project, do you mean like my own social, like your own social network type of X project? Steve, how far off would someone from the 1970s think if you try to explain a smartphone to them? They'd probably think it was pretty far off. Yeah, so I take your point. I take your point. I just the robot hand is still that's still like a hardware physics atoms problem, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I think some of these problems are just a ways off from being solved. St1e, no GitHub. So you're talking about the X project I built, St1e? You're talking about the Conv X, the X clone that I built? It's a TV, radio, telephone. It can communicate anywhere in the world in an instance. It has all the information in the world. It can run commerce. Yeah, I totally see your bent, vaccinated anti-vaxxer. Like, I totally see what you're trying to get at, and I agree in a lot of ways. I just think, I don't know, I'm just not as carried away. I'm not as convinced. I'm just not as convinced, man. But I'm totally open to being proven completely wrong. Exactly. People have always changed the definition of AGI. 10 years ago, we would have called GPT-4 AGI. Yeah. Yeah, AGI, yeah. I mean, it's a thing, right? And as I understand it, the definition of AGI is actually kind of important as it relates to Microsoft and OpenAI. There's something... there's something... Oh, okay, Steven, I'll take a look at that. Exactly. It's nuts what a smartphone is, but it's not sci-fi. It's here. Yeah. I mean, and it's nuts what generative AI is. Vaccinated anti-vaxxer. I mean, it's nuts what ChatGPT and Claude and all them can do. As simple as what they're doing is predicting the next token in a word. It's, yeah. So yes, I would never disagree that the technologies we have today are pretty amazing. I just don't know if they're. I just don't know. I think the timeline for the revolutionary impact is longer than what people think it is. Sanjay, yo, bro, had breakfast? I have not had much breakfast today. I've just been drinking coffee. But lunch is coming. St1e says a project on GitHub called Build Your Own X. Let me look at it. Build Your Own X. GitHub. Oh, this is Codecrafters. Yeah, Codecrafters is awesome. This is really cool. Codecrafters is a really cool site. Okay, so this is basically building your own. Oh yeah, so they have all different options. So I actually started trying to work on the build your own Git. It didn't get very far. Like I didn't apply a ton of time or effort to it, but I was like, yeah, I really want to do this, and then I got distracted with some other project. But I think this is a really cool site and company. And it looks like so I guess that this way you can use, I guess Codecrafters, this is the way they make it public, so you don't necessarily have to sign up for their site, but you can still do all their projects, I guess. But yeah, I think this is awesome, St1e. Oh, so you want to see what I'm looking at? Yeah, I can show you here. Hold on. Let me clean up. I don't want to dox any work stuff. Here we go. And let's remove the text. So this is just a GitHub repo that St1e posted about build your own X. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I've definitely been to Codecrafters before. I have an account there. And so yeah, I'm all about this, St1e. If any of those projects look cool for you, man, I say go get them. I say go get them. Harks, AGI is here. I mean, that's definitely an opinion. I just don't think I agree with it. And that, no shade at you. I just don't I don't think I necessarily agree with it. And like I guess the day I know that AI is going to have a revolutionary impact or has had a significant impact on our world is the day where I talk to all the moms that my kids go to school with, or I talk to my mom, or I talk to people who aren't technologists, people who don't write code, who don't do programming, people who work in unrelated fields, when I hear them telling stories about how their work has been so significantly transformed. And today, I just don't hear that coming up in casual conversation. Aside from people saying, yeah, I use ChatGPT to write this, help me write this. Or I use, beyond chat applications, right? I don't see a huge impact quite yet. And I think that's where it's kind of hard. It's hard to separate. It's hard for people who are so deep in that world of technology to separate and stand back and like be like, hold on, the reality I live in isn't everyone's reality. The world that I'm so deep in isn't everyone's world. And so when somebody says, hey, the world is going to look completely different in 18 or 24 months, you have to remember that is such a short time scale considering how slowly the world really changes in real life. That's a really, really short timetable to say like in 18 or 24 months, no one will be writing code, or in 18 or 24 months, AIs will be curing diseases. Those type of things just seem very hyperbole to me, and I could be proven wrong. It just, to me, they seem a little hyperbolish. Steve1E, gotta go. See y'all later. Thanks, Steve1E, for hanging out, man. Have a good day. Hope your Monday is awesome. Hope your whole week's awesome. If I don't see you, hope you have a great week. I probably have another couple minutes in me, and then I need to jump because I do have some work meetings that I need to prepare for. I'll be back on though later. Alright, guys. Well, that's my office hour. So thanks for hanging out and working with me. Drinking coffee, talking about artificial intelligence. I was joking because it created the alt text app in 2 minutes. Oh wow. Yeah, Harks, let's go. Let's get that alt text app pushed up to a repo on GitHub, and let's get it deployed somewhere, and let's see if it runs and works, man. It was good talking with you. Have a good rest of your day. You too, Bernie. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Harks, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate all you guys who hung out and chatted with me. Makes the stream much more interesting. All right, I'm going to head out, but I'll be back later. So if you see me, stop on in. Otherwise, I'll see another stream or video or short or in a comment thread somewhere. So hope you guys have a wonderful Monday and have a good rest of your week. If I